Bit of B-roll, baby. Oh God. Letting the tyres down to get on the beach. What are you taking tyres down to today?
I take them down to 30. Count to 30, and then that's down the pressure. Count to 30, Az.
As you can see, we don't have any caps for them. That just pushes the little valve in.
Counts to 30.
It counts to 30 seconds, and that's enough. He does it enough to know how long he needs to do it for, which is pretty impressive, actually, if I say so myself. All right, so we're going to do some worming today on the beach. It's low tide. We came down yesterday to get a couple, and it's high tide, so we couldn't really get down to them. So what we did was we buried some mullet. We remembered where we buried it. So come on, this other. So we buried some mullet so it gets nice and stinky for the worms because they love smelly bait. And now we're just going to dig it up. Couple of smelly mullets. Oh yeah, they are on the pong. Woo. Stick around because we'll be showing you guys how to catch some worms with some smelly bait. Holding the mullet outside the window. We definitely don't want them in the car because it reeks. It's gonna be good for the wormies. They love a bit of smelly. Look at this. That's a good little hole there. Now what we're going to be doing is just driving up and down the beach, looking for a nice deep hole or gutter with a bit of a bank behind it and an entry and an exit to the gutter, and going to be casting some, I think Az has got a couple of soft plastics. I'm going to be using a vibe. Dad's going to be using some worms when we get some. We've actually got a pretty cranky looking storm brewing up out in front of us. Can't really, doesn't look very inviting, but we might get a little bit wet. But anyway, the things you do for a fish, eh? Yeah, so what we're doing when we're driving up and down the beach, we're looking for white water, and where the, yeah, so see, you can sort of see where the waves are breaking and then they go to nothing. Like, that's where the waves, they're breaking on the shallower water and then going into deeper water, so that notifies us as to where a deep hole is. Plus you can sort of see it's a lot greener as well. Oh, easily, that's sick, man. That's us, I reckon, right there, eh?
We're not gonna go
right in this. Woo! I think we found the perfect spot. Nice deep gutter. You can see the white water breaking out behind it there, where it sort of stops breaking. That's where the fish will be swimming through. They'll be looking for bait, worms, whatever's swimming through there. Hopefully it's one of our lures. This mullet are just flapping around in the wind. Woo! Man, those worms are going to be able to smell that mullet from an absolute mile away. It is a little bit blowy on the beach, so hopefully the audio is okay for you guys. But anyway, should hopefully get some fish. Nice little gutter there. Get some worms first. Oh, strap you guys on my head. Here we go. very skittish. That might be one there. I'll see if he comes back. So what happened was I just put my hand probably a little bit too close to him, and he felt the pressure of the sand and he disappeared. Oh, there, he's come back. That's all right, he must be very hungry. Oh yeah, he's hungry, all right. Squeeze and pull. Hey, there we go. There's a nice little stumpy one. I think there's another one there too. Is there? Oh, yeah, he's a good sized worm, guys. That's definitely, yeah, he's gonna go really well. And we got another one here. So you can see his little head poke up there. And then I come in, oh, see, as soon as I feel pressure, yeah. Oh, that's a good pippy. Nice pippy. Here, here's one. We've got under some good pippies too. That's a good one. Now pippies work really well for worms as well. Basically, like the worms can't, when they arch their back, they can't pull the pippy out of your hand or like peel a bit of the, usually if you're using a pilly or something like that, they can take a little bit of that off, but pippies work really, really well and they're small in your hand. So what I do is, when I crack this, like when you throw it at the ground really hard, it breaks open the shell. And then you just peel it open like that, and then you've got yourself some really good fish bait and worm bait as well. So this is for the smell, and we'll use the pippy as bait to get them up. Now there are pippies absolutely everywhere. Come on, pippies. Just yet. We might try some pippies later on a hook or something for bait if we don't get anything on anything else, but yeah, I'll let you know what we do as we go. So basically what I just do is I just swirl the fish, whatever's smelly, in the water, and you'll see the worms' heads pop up. Generally, sometimes they can be a little bit hard to see. What Az is doing is he's just swishing a little bit of smelly stuff right in front of the worm, and what happens is he'll pop his head up just like that, and as you can see, Az is coming down in, grabs him and then twists and then pull. Just like that. Oh, and Dad's got one too. We're getting some really, really nice
Good
worms. So yeah, those worms are absolutely perfect on a hook. Jewfish, brim, whiting, flathead, yeah, dart, anything will take that one though.
Yep.
A nice fresh worm.
Best bait ever.
Best bait ever. Dad and my pop swear by it.
Razzie, right there.
Oh yeah. And I know he's sitting right about there, so you can see his little head pop up there in the water, and once the waves dissipate and they go back out and you've got a little bit of clearer vision, come down, you keep your fingers nice and wide, come in, squeeze slowly, grab the worm, twist and pull. There you go. Come on.
You have to get him in the water, Bruzzy. He's huge.
Good one, Might get a chance at it now.
Go, go.
Oh no!
He missed him!
Oh, I completely went behind him. I didn't feel him. Damn it! Here we go. Right there. Right in front of it. Squeeze the pull. Didn't miss that one. Have a look at him. So he'll actually bring out little, if you can see that, they have these little black pincers that come out. And that's what grabs onto the, is he going to bring him out? Yeah, but that's what grabs onto the pippy and pulls it down. And they arch their back and they come up and then they reef a bit of the flesh of usually something dead or whatever it is, and they pull it under the ground and then they eat it under the ground. So you got to watch out for the real big ones. If they get your finger, they'll actually pull your finger under the ground as well, pull you into the Go, get him. What is it? Ah, a little crab. Oh, hey, he's cranky. Have a go at him. Hey, dude. Oh, hey. Whoa. He's a cool little fella. Look, watch him bury himself in the ground there. You just give it a swell, yeah. Oh, hey, touched his back. Woo! Hey, dude. Oh, squeeze and pull. There it is.
There it is.
That's a long one too, Dad.
Squeeze and pull.
Nice. Oi. Here's one.
That's chunky, Druzzy.
Oh, he slipped out of my hands.
Oh, got his head.
All right, guys, so I pretty well showed you enough on how to catch them. Next thing I'll show you is how best to look after them. Yeah, they'll keep for a couple of days if you keep them in some fresh sand, but I'll show you guys that right now. All right, now, so what you do is you get yourself some nice loose sand like this. It's usually better when it's drier, but you definitely don't want hot sand because it will hurt or, you know, kill the worms. So you want nice cool sand, and what you do is tip them all out on the sand like that. Is that all of them? Yep. Okay, and you sort of just, yeah, so you want to be nice and gentle. It's almost like sorting out spaghetti, really. And you want to sort of lay them out like that. And these ones are already pretty well sanded, but they'll last for a very long time if you keep them in fresh sand. And basically what you do is you just get a bit of fresh sand and sort of dust it over them like that, and put a little bit of sand in the bottom of the bait bucket or wherever you're keeping them, and then just flick them around, give them a little bit of a toss, and then put them in there. A little bit of a toss, eh? Wow. Okay. Stick them in there, and then that way what that happens is they'll actually slime up a lot if you leave them without sand over them, and they'll just sort of smother themselves, hey? So always check your sand to make sure that you didn't leave any behind for the seagulls. And yeah, that's how to look after your worms so that they last, you know, they'll literally, oops, little head there, they'll last a couple of days like that, hey? Like we've had worms just go down, if you're close to the beach, just re-sand them up, give them a bit of sand, even put them in the water, give them a little bit of a wash, and they'll just last for days like that, as long as you keep them in a nice cool place. And your bait stays really fresh that way too. And we all know fresh bait does really well when catching fish. So yeah, that's how to catch and look after worms, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that. Now we're going to go for a fish.